All right, welcome everybody. Here we are for some yoga. Let me just pin myself here. And we'll start with a little meditation. Open up the chest. Take some deep breaths. Think of breathing deep in the belly. Inhale for about 5 seconds. Feel the belly rising. And then exhale. It's a good time to really just let yourself meditate. Meditate on the breathing. Thinking about how it feels to breathe in. Breathing deep in the belly. And just take some time to focus on your breath. If your mind wanders or drift to something else, just come right back to focusing on your breath. Take a couple more minutes just to stay focused on your breathing. Hopefully, you can keep really focused on your breath, letting go of all your other thoughts. Taking 2 more deep breaths, and then we'll open up. Excellent. So let's go ahead and scoot up here. And we're going to go side to side. And just inhale one side, exhale other side. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about planes of movement. So there's 3 main planes of movement. And I always get kind of confused by this sometimes because this is the frontal plane, but we're moving side to side. And it's kind of more movement, go ahead and reach up, that happens side to side. So it's basically when you look at it from the front. That's the way to think about it. Good, and then just inhale, reach up. And exhale, push down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, push down. So this would be more of a sagittal plane. Swing the arms even this way. So you would look at it from the side to see the arms swinging, the way you might think about it. But you also might think about it as like this is this plane here. And go back to the frontal one now. So think about that as if you split it this way from the front. So that's frontal. And then we have sagittal. So to see the motion and analyze it, you would look at it primarily from the side. So then we have transverse going this way here. So imagine that one you're looking at from the top. So you would see the movement in this plane. This one's pretty obvious. Maybe a little more easier to understand. Good, and then shoulder rolls, pelvic tilts. So what plane is this in? Going to be the sagittal plane primarily. Good, and then we're going to have the arms here. Seated wings. Inhale in and exhale, open up. Inhale in and open up. So what plane would this one be in? You might think frontal because you look at it from the front, but we're really moving more on this transverse plane that way. Coming in and then out. So you'd look at it more from the top if you were to analyze the motion, you see. Good, and then we'll try this one, reaching up. And think about what plane of movement you're moving in now. So if you thought frontal plane, that's correct. Moving kind of more in this front view. I think of it as the way you view it, more the front view, how you would want to look at it. If you looked at me from the side, you might not see exactly what I'm doing. Inhale up, exhale down. Good, just go back to rotations. So pretty much what I'm getting at is we'll try to move between the three of those planes back and forth over and over. You don't want to stick with the same one all the time. You want to work all three. So let's go ahead and face the side. One leg back, reach up. Excellent. Go ahead and bring both feet to the side, twisting back. And back to center. Inner thigh stretch. Nice and wide. Good. Bring one shoulder in. And other side. Excellent. Let's go ahead and face the side, one leg back. And keep focused on your breathing. Inhale, nice and long. One more big deep breath. And relax. Bringing both feet to the side, rotating back. And back to center. Push out, curve your back. And then put your hands in your back pockets. And then pull your elbows together. Take a couple deep breaths. Excellent. So let's go ahead and stand up. And I'm going to move my chair out of the way a little bit here. And we'll go back to doing these are more dynamic stretches or movements that we're doing, because the plane of motion is a plane of motion. So you're not really going to have it in a pose. You're not going to be thinking about planes of motion. It's just when you move. So I'm going to go forward and back with the leg. And I'll keep kind of reminding you or asking you what plane we're in. So I'm moving the leg this way. This is the sagittal plane. You would view it from the side, the way you think of it, cutting it this way. If we move the arm, that's moving sagittally too. Good, let's try the other side. So these are primarily dynamic stretches that we're working on. Start with just the leg. Good, use the arm. And here's a trick question for you while you're doing it. If I move to the side, is this the frontal plane? No, it's still the sagittal plane. You're just having a frontal view or a different view of it. Just viewing it from the side. Couple more. Okay, so let's go to the back of the chair, or you don't need the chair necessarily. Kicking to the side. This is where I think it gets confusing because I'm kicking to the side, but this is the frontal view. It's moving in the front plane. So we could do the arms too. Good. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Start with just the leg. Good posture. Open it up. Last two. Good, and then roll the hips around. What plane is this moving in, huh? So this is the transverse plane because we're more moving on the top view. The way you think of it, if you're looking down, you'd see yourself circling. Other direction. So the transverse is often rotational stuff with the body. Good, then let's go ahead and do a triangle with that. Reaching up and down, looking back, taking a couple deep breaths. Good, let's go ahead and just switch sides. Excellent, and then relax. We're gonna go up this way. And we're moving in the sagittal plane primarily. Go up this way. It's more the arms that are moving. This would be more frontal. Inhale up, exhale down. Get a good stretch here too. But don't go too fast. Good, and then we'll just go to twisting. Looking behind you, turn your toes slightly in. Couple more. Good, excellent. Then we're going to inhale, reach up, and exhale, come down. Inhale, reach up, exhale, come down. About 4 more. Excellent. Then reach up, stretch the belly, take a couple deep breaths. Good. And then we step out to a warrior 2. Gazing past your right fingertips here, pulling the head back. One more breath. And relax. Straighten this leg here and reach up with the same hand. Reverse warrior. Getting a good stretch in your side. Take some breathing in that area. Do some breaths in that area. Excellent. And then we'll go into downward dog. Walk your feet back. Stretch it all out. Take one more breath. And back to center. Let's go ahead and do gathering sunflowers next. So our toes are turned out. And we're going to take a deep breath in, reach up, stretch, and then exhale, come down. And what plane are we moving in? Yes, it's the frontal plane. Let's do two more. And then come to sun pose. Taking one more breath. And relax. Okay, let's go to cat and cow next. So we're gonna go with inhaling and curving. We'll bend the knees. I'll show you from the side. And the movement will happen in the transverse plane. I'm sorry, the sagittal plane. And you think of sagittal as like looking at it from the side, sagittal side. So there you go. Cat. You can see my movement now. Coming up to cow. And then back to cat. So we're going to move back and forth in the sagittal plane here. And don't stretch too much if your chair is going to get away from you when you come to this cow. If you have a real solid chair, maybe you can kind of stretch it a little bit, but don't let it get away from you, push away. And keep going, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Inhale the cow, exhale the cat. Good, and then let's pause here at the cow, pulling the shoulders back and down, taking a couple breaths. And relax. So next we're just going to reach up, stretching it all out. Take a couple deep breaths in the belly again. And then step out to warrior two. Gazing past your left fingertips there. Pull the head back. Taking a couple deep breaths. And relax. We're going to go ahead and straighten this left leg. Reach up with the same hand. Just getting a good back bend. Or a side bend, you might think of it that way. You don't want to bend back too much. And then relax. Go ahead and wring it out. Moving into transverse plane. Think of transverse as looking at from the top. Transverse top. And move your head with it too, the neck rotating, head rotating. Unless you get dizzy. Good. So then we're gonna grab that chair or whatever you got close by. This could even be a wall. It doesn't necessarily have to be the chair. But what you'll do is face maybe even back a little bit and then grab the chair, turn yourself around, looking back behind you. Just be careful, don't go too hard. You don't want to break a spinal bone or anything like that. Take a couple deep breaths. And relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides. I'm just gonna turn almost like I'm facing back the other way, and then twist and pull myself around. Taking just a couple deep breaths. Good, and then we're gonna go back to downward dog. Stretch it all out. So walk your feet back enough so you're about 90 degrees and then push your hips back even more. Taking 2 or 3 breaths. And relax. Good. Let's finish with a little bit of balance work. We'll start with star pose. You're just going to be leaning to the side a little bit. Take a couple deep breaths there. And then we'll switch to the other side. It's always good to lean towards something too, just in case you follow that direction. Or you can challenge yourself even more. So if you got this, first start with just trying to hold it. And then you can challenge yourself more by leaning to the side just a little bit more. And then you might need to have that chair. One more breath. And relax. All right, tree pose is next. Switching feet again. Just taking a couple deep breaths there. Good, and then go ahead and reach out. Take a deep breath. And then other side. Think about your toes. Interesting how much your toes help you out there. They really help with balance. Take one more breath. And relax. Good. Let's go ahead and go forward and back just a little bit. And go ahead and have a seat. I'm going to start with the legs crossed, either low or high, here. Keep your back really straight and just stretch those hips out. Good. Other side. Excellent. Then go ahead and face the side here. One leg back. Reaching up. Lift the chest. Reach up as high as you can. Take a couple breaths. And relax. Good. Let's go ahead and come back to center. We do our rotations this way. Act like you're out of breath first. Take a couple breaths. And then twisting, looking behind you. And other side. All right, then go ahead and face this direction here. One leg back, reach up. And back to center. We're going to sit back all the way. Grab the side of the chair. Just lean to the side. Let gravity do the work. Stretch it out. Relax. And then other side. Good. And then looking down like a pendulum on a clock. Just go side to side. And then go side to side looking. And then go down and out. It's funny because I hear all my muscles in there. All right, let's finish with a little meditation, just like how we started. But this time, what I want you to do is focus on everything that you hear. So the thing with meditation is you just want to focus on one thing, and be mindful of that one thing. That's what they call mindfulness. So we're just going to focus on everything we hear outside or inside our body. You might hear yourself breathing. You might hear the birds outside. You might have things inside your house that you hear. But just try to focus on everything that you hear. If you only have 3 or 4 things that you hear, just run through them over and over through your head, just thinking about everything that you hear. And try to let go of everything else in your mind. Keep meditating on all the things that you can hear. Maybe your refrigerator, whatever it might be. Don't leave anything out. Give yourself another minute or two to just think about all those things. Excellent. Just taking a couple more deep breaths here, and then we'll open up. Opening your eyes, coming to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. And we'll see you next time.